Thank you very much. Thank you, John, for presenting. Thank you, Jason, for putting this together. Big thanks to the 1 Million Cups organization. And thank you all for being here. Really appreciate it. This is a fantastic turnout. And I know with a lot of the mountain biking presentations that I've given, it's mostly kids my age, and it's really great to. No, it's wonderful to have you all here. It's a great cross section of the community, and I hope to give you an understanding of what's going on with our organization, Copper Harbor Trails Club, with the mountain biking, the adventure tourism, and what we're trying to build here for the future of the Keweenaw. So real briefly, myself, I am not from here. I am not a Uber. I was born in Massachusetts. I grew up actually in Steamboat, Colorado, so I've had some of that mountain town experience. And what brought me here was Michigan Tech for grad school. And while I was here, I came to love the Keweenaw for all of the resources that it has. The mountain biking, the skiing. I love the winter. I grew up in a place that also got 300 inches of snow a year, and this place has it all. And it is a wonderful spot, and it also hasn't been overrun like Colorado has. So we are all very lucky to be here. So who is the Copper Harbor Trails Club? What are we? What do we do? So our mission, this comes straight out of our charter, is we are advocating, developing, and maintaining trails and land for human-powered activities in and connecting to Copper Harbor. That's hiking, that's biking, trail running, getting people out into the woods and enjoying the beautiful, beautiful nature that we have here. So we do that by fostering relationships with the community. We are a community organization. Our members are primarily volunteers. We are you. We focus on building trails to drive both the fun that we have here and economic growth. So that is right in our charter is helping the tourism industry here, helping build these businesses and giving these businesses an opportunity to invest in the types of resources that bring more tourists here. We have seen a huge growth in mountain biking over the past 20 years in this region, and we see it continuing very strongly. We also are educating people on how to use the trails, how to be stewards, how to take part in these activities that keep our access, that grow our access, that grow the resources that we have now and want to have in the future. So our organization, real briefly, we have a board of directors, we have an executive director, full-time executive director. We have a set of committees that allow community members that maybe don't have as much time as people like myself to participate, to get involved and give their 2 cents. We have members, we have a membership program, and we have volunteers that show up and help run our events and participate. And lastly, we have trail contractors. So Aaron Rogers, Rock Solid Trail Contracting, builds the vast majority of our trails. They have done a fantastic job, and they are our primary source for all of the trail building that we do. Their vision really makes these trails as attractive as they are to the broader mountain bike community. So, brief background on our history, where we came from. The history of the Copper Harbor Trails Club is basically the same as the history of mountain biking in Copper Harbor. So it started all in the 1990s as mountain biking was growing nationwide. There were a bunch of logging roads and some basic trail building that went on back in the woods, a lot of paper company land. In the 2000s, the volunteer trail building grew. There were a lot of students from Michigan Tech and other community members that came up to build more of the trails that they had grown to love and wanted to see more of. In 2005, the first paid trail building employees were hired by the Copper Harbor Trails Club to build trails up here. And in 2006, with Aaron showing up, we moved to the IMBA-influenced bench cut trail that really defines the type of riding and trail experience you get in Copper Harbor these days. That just means you're cutting into the side of the hill and really making a platform that you can ride a bike on really well, really fast. So in 2007, we formally created a 501c3 organization so that you can donate tax-free and support the cause. And in 2010, we became an inaugural chapter of the national, or international, Mountain Bike Association, and began the use of mini excavators to make actual machine-built trail, so you can build faster, build bigger, and build more. In 2012, we hired our first executive director, which was a big step for us. It really took our organization's game to the next level, allows us to focus full-time, year-round on doing what we do, on maintaining our connections with the community and keeping things moving forward. 2014, I joined. So all this stuff happened before me. I actually moved up in 2008, but 2014 was when I got a chance to start helping out, and they haven't been able to get rid of me yet. And in 2017, we became independent again, so we are now focused entirely on Copper Harbor and the Keweenaw area. And in 2018, we hired our second executive director, Nathan Miller, back there, so he will be around as well to answer questions after the presentation. So, a bit of a snapshot of where mountain biking is regionally. So mountain biking has started essentially back in the 70s, 80s, 90s, slowly growing, and starting in the 2000s, it really took off nationwide. The same trends happened in the upper Midwest, all across the UP, and in Wisconsin, in Minnesota, in the lower peninsula. Mountain bike systems have been built by volunteers and increasingly more organized and professional organizations such as ours. So there are trail systems everywhere, and what we are trying to do with our trail system is create a destination that people are willing to drive a long way to get to. We are a long way from everywhere. When John's talking about people choosing whether to go to Vail or come here, that's no joke. We have people coming here from all across the country. We had people here from North Carolina, Asheville, North Carolina, another massive mountain biking destination, came here for our event. They were part of a group that was with a major retailer that chose to come to our event on Labor Day weekend, one of the biggest event weekends across the country, because of what we have. And we're trying to maintain that. So we also host events in order to drive all of this. This is a picture from one of our most popular events. It's a women's clinic. We started this women's clinic to get more women riding bikes. There was a lot of media exposure that we had about how extreme our trails are, and they are extreme. They are advanced to intermediate trails, by and large. And what this does is it gets people more comfortable with the skills they need to ride the trails. It gets them engaged. It gets them bringing their friends out here, and they come from all across the upper Midwest for this event. This event hosts 85 women, and it sells out in under 5 minutes. So you basically have to have your internet browser set up, ready to go, ready to click a button, and whoever gets there first gets in, every single year. We partner with local businesses. So what we try to do is create opportunities for members of the community, both individuals and businesses, to invest in these resources. So we partner with these companies. They help fund us. We provide advertising through our Facebook page, which has a fairly large reach in the mountain biking community throughout the upper Midwest. And we also partner with local companies such as the Keweenaw Brewing Company to create products such as the Point Trail Ale. So the Point Trail Ale came out last fall in partnership with the KBC, and 25 cents of every 6-pack you buy in the store goes back to funding the trails. It's raised over $7,000 for us so far, so keep drinking that beer. It's fantastic. We also partner with community foundations. We partner with other 501c3 or volunteer organizations to create these other opportunities. So one of our biggest events is Memorial Day weekend. It started a number of years ago as a primarily mountain biking event to get people who are coming to Copper Harbor to ride some of the other trail systems in the Keweenaw. So we have trails going all the way from Ontonagon County all the way up to Keweenaw, and we wanted people to experience those, to stop there, ride there as well, and this event was a great way to get that going. The Portage Health Foundation was looking for a cornerstone event for their organization, and they helped us over the past 3 years build up this event. They expanded it out to other types of activities, paddling, hiking, running, and has really grown the engagement of the community in these outdoor sports, getting people really engaged with what they have available around here. And also we work with the Keweenaw Community Foundation, Jim Vivian over there, their executive director, to help some of the other trail clubs have a tax-free venue to get grants and donations to pour into their investments. So this is a snowmobile that was purchased with grant funding in order to build single track for winter bike riding. And that is a large growing segment of the mountain biking community, is winter single track. So that's fat bikes, fat tires, riding on skinny, snowmobile-wide trails through the woods. We fund trail building. This is kind of the keystone that surrounds the whole organization. We fund primarily Aaron and Rock Solid to build these trails, and these trails and the quality of these trails are what drive people here. And also this is one of our board members, Brennan Wade, just this past weekend out on some of the new features that Rock Solid has built for us. So we try to enjoy what we have here. We are here, I am here personally because of these resources. And we make sure to get out and remind ourselves why we do all this hard work, because we love it and because other people love it too. Now, a little look at what's coming in the future. So what are we doing now to make things better next year? So you can't quite read it up there probably, but it just is more trails and more land. So this is a map of where our trails sit on the Keweenaw right now. We have our main trail network in and around Copper Harbor. We have trails up on Brockway Mountain. We have trails around the Mountain Lodge. And we have these two disconnected segments of the Keweenaw Point Trail. Keweenaw Point Trail is a long-term project to put trail all across the tip of the Keweenaw. So back in 2004, the state acquired a bunch of land out here, and we came up with a plan to put trail on it. So this is a map of the tip of the Keweenaw. All of the green land is state-acquired land that was acquired in the land swap back then. We have completed trail going along Lake Fanny Ho. There is some two-track, which may soon be replaced by single track. And we are in the process of finalizing a grant to connect this phase 2, which was finished a couple years ago, to a phase 3, which will take you all the way from High Rock Bay south to the Montreal River Corridor, taking trail users to places that people basically have never had access to in the Keweenaw. You'll be able to see things no one has really been able to see easily before unless you were out hiking your butt through the swamp all the way out to the lake shore. So if you like what you have access to here, there will be more of it. It will be remote. It will be a true wilderness experience for people coming up here. And more land. So this is not what's actually happening. This is a graphic that I put together to help myself figure this out. So you may have seen in the news that there's talk about a state land swap with GMO. Right now the discussion is for swapping approximately 16,000 acres of GMO timberland with the state. Now what this would mean is it would go into, this land would go into state holdings. It would be essentially a net no change in terms of tax revenue for all of the municipalities and counties. And something approximately this size, this is 16,000 acres in just a rectangle, would be added to the land that we have permanent public access to. That opens this land up.
Which lakes are those? Just trying to visualize where this is.
Yeah, so this is Copper Harbor up here, Schlatter.
No, I mean the lake inside the green.
Inside the green? Oh man,
Breakfast Lake. Yeah.
Breakfast Lake?
Okay.
So land that would fill this box is what is under discussion for that land swap. So that's what we're looking forward to. Adding trail going all around this area, and then over the next decades, filling that land with access, with trails, with really cool opportunities that will keep people coming here, keep places like the Mountain Lodge in business and growing, and continue to make the Keweenaw one of the best places to have outdoor recreation in the country. So we're here to have fun. We do have fun. We're building more for people to have more fun. And I should also mention that there's going to be a really cool project happening on this parcel out here too. So if you have any questions about that, Aaron's the guy to talk to. There'll be fun trail there too. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors. So if you're a business owner out there, you like what we're doing, talk to us. We would love to work with you. We will put your money straight into building trails. Go right back into the community. And with that, I'm going to open it up for questions.
There's one thing that I would like to mention with this land swap. It's not only for Grant Township.
Yep.
We want to have a ridge trail from Mohawk all the way up. And that, to me, when we tie these trails together, our little other communities like Eagle Harbor, Eagle River, Amite, Mohawk, we have to have that corridor available for trails.
Absolutely.
And it's not only 16,000 acres, they're looking at 35,000 acres below.
Right. So my understanding was that the 16 is the first phase that they're discussing?
It is so, on a scale of 1 to 10, negotiations are not even at 1 yet.
Right. So, real quick on that, there is a long-term plan. It is in our plan. It has been in our plan for over a decade to focus on that ridge trail when the access has been put together. So once we complete the Keweenaw Point Trail, our next major project as an organization is the Keweenaw Ridge Trail heading south from Copper Harbor to all of those communities along the Keweenaw.
Vicki Self here. There's a really rich and robust skiing community, cross-country skiing community all up and down the Keweenaw. And I think that is one of the challenges for the trails around here. Can we create trails that would allow not just snow biking, but if we want to choose traditional striding trails, or if we want to go with other kinds of robust trails, so that people who come here, again, stop at Michigan Tex Trails, they come up to Calumet, they move their way up the peninsula here, and they have a really, a destination skiing area too. That helps with the year-round effort.
Absolutely, and we have been helping support the small cross-country ski loop in Copper Harbor.
Yeah.
And my understanding is that there have been a lot of talks about bringing more cross-country skiing back to Copper Harbor in the future. So it's in the plans.
Just a note, I'm not a mountain biker. I'm married to one, love mountain biking, but when I walk on the trails around here, the thing that I would like to see are some notices about what the trail is for and what mixed use is available. Because there have been many times when people are bombing down the trail that have almost nailed me. I think they should bomb down the trail. I mean, fun is fun, but I want to have some fun too. If we had some signs that had indications of the mixed use, I think it would be terrific. And I think that's a safety issue. And I would really like to see the Trails group focus on that safety issue in the coming months.
Absolutely. Other questions?
Hi, my name is Lisa Casper. So I'm a mom and I have 2 sons. My youngest would just love this and I'd love to get him engaged. We do things as a family, and my oldest son has a gross motor disability. He can ride a bike, but we would love to have him engaged. Do you have any easier trails? Are those, do you have something for people who are challenged a bit? Is there a plan in the works to have an easier set of trails?
The short answer is yes, there is a plan to have a set of easier trails for people to ride. Right now, we are mostly intermediate to advanced trails. We are working to get more easy trails installed. And also on the note, if your other son is younger, we recently partnered with the Single Track Flyers group down in Houghton. So that is a youth group to get kids on mountain bikes, get them trained up with the proper skill set. They had their first full summer session this year, and they're going to be going back again next year. So if you look out for that, that's going to be a great opportunity to get any younger kids involved.
Thank you. I noticed when you first began, you said something about the Keweenaw being a very special place, which I think we all agree with, and that it's not as overrun as Colorado. It seems like that's something that we need to be kind of aware of, that there might be a little bit of a way in which we don't turn out to be just totally overrun, and that has to be a priority for a lot of us. And I don't know how you address that and do both. Maybe you have a better idea of the idea.
Well, that's a really good point, and it's always going to be a balance, especially when you have a tourist economy and you don't want the place to get completely overrun. There's a certain amount of capacity that you have. Personally, I think one of the big things that will help in the long term is setting aside these public lands to make sure that they are accessible to everyone, accessible to the locals, accessible to the tourists who come here, and they aren't chopped up and blocked off. At the same time, having a plan for incrementally growing that capacity and growing it in a way that the community wants to see it grow. A lot of what we do is building resources for the local community as well. So making sure that those resources are what people want to see is a big part of that for us. And as far as not overwhelming the area, one of our benefits is that we are so far away. It is a long drive, and there are a lot of places closer that the less intrepid might go to. But it's definitely going to be a process as advertising continues, as more people come here, and it's just going to be something the community has to work on together, and we're hoping to be a strong part of that conversation.
Some of those loops look rather large. Is there any plans to put like rustic camping sites, whatever mountain bikers need 22 miles away from each other so that you could make the loop in like a day or two by camping?
Yes. Yeah, so that's part of the long-term plan. First step is getting the trail put out there. Second step is going to be adding rustic camping and water trail access. So you'll be able to kayak to those points, you'll be able to camp there, and it will be part of an integrated system that you can either do in one day or go out and stay. So right now you can ride your bike out to High Rock Bay, camp out there. It's not the full loop that it's going to be, but that gives you a preview of what it might be like.
We'll take one more after this.
I know it's probably not your focus of your organization, but is hiking integrated over the same trails, or is it identified to try to? I would love to go all these same places, just not on my bike.
Absolutely. So there are a few of our trails that are one-way, downhill, mountain bike only trails, but they're generally not the trails that are fun to hike. They're steep and rocky, and as a hiker and trail runner myself, they're not exactly what I'm personally looking for. Everything else is open to all human-powered activity. So hiking, running, backpacking, all of the trails will be open to you. Yes.
Any other questions? All right, so I'll end with that last one. So what can we as a community do to help support you moving forward?
Absolutely. So you can become a member of our organization. You can volunteer at our events. You can, if you are a business owner, we are always looking for partners. We are happily provide advertising through our site and on our maps, and we are looking for any and all engagement with the community. So personal engagement, financial engagement, we take donations, and we are always building more, so that takes money.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.